Welcome to today's live webinar from Trade Guider Systems Gibraltar Limited, and joined by my good friend Tiru Nagapan from MasterTheMarkets, who's the MD of that company. We've worked together for some years. We're doing an event, a live trading event, the IX Investor Show, which is on the 24th of November up at the Connaught Rooms in London. We're very much looking forward to it. Tiru and I met quite a few years ago at a show, and we both had a booth at the show. And Tiru approached my booth and said, what are you looking at? I said, volume spread analysis, VSA. He said, oh, that's different. I said, what are you looking at? He said, price action. Come and have a look. That is the start of great relationships, where you actually go and have a look and say, actually, do you know something? There's something here. Now, I've met many traders around the world and investors, and often I get emails saying, I've cracked it, I've got this, I've got that, but when I go to a live chart, it doesn't work. What both of us have in common, Tiru and myself, is we want to help other people. Now, most of you who know me know I'm an ex-police officer. Tiru worked in, well, he can tell you, but it was in heart and blood stuff. I mean, he's medical, I'm police. Makes a great partnership, actually. because we both look at things as traders and investors that we are. I'm running as many of you know, an asset management division out of Gibraltar. And I never thought of 56, which is, I looked at all the people that I've trained in the last 20 years, and it's 868, I think it is. It's ridiculous. But these people are actually making it in the market. But we know that 95% of retail traders, especially in the UK, they publish this on websites. Sometimes it's 79%, 80%, 90%, but whatever. They're not making it. Why? Why? Today we'll show you. A lot of it comes down to discipline, attitude, following a system that you believe in, and executing your trade. It's very military. I hate to say this with what's going on in Israel, and my prayers go out to everyone in that region in the Middle East, because we know the pain these people are going through. But this has gone on for decades. Well, it's been around since humanity started. There's always been conflict. However, there are a lot of human beings who are very successful and ignore conflict and just get on with their lives and make it work. Now, in trading, when I was taught by the late Tom Williams, he taught me something very important. He said trading is like going into battle in World War I or World War II. You're in a trench, and if you pop your head up and you're not careful, you'll get shot by a sniper. That's called a losing trade. We don't want that for you. We want you to be successful, and I'll show you how we identify volume, and then the SMI indicator, which is overlaid on the chart, shows you that you can be successful, but you must have a good teacher or teachers, because without Tom Williams and several other people like David Weiss, who passed away, Dr. Gary Dayton, who's taught me, a lot of the information I've got has come from the masters. That when I was younger, in my late 30s, I decided this was my vocation in life. This is what I wanted to do. Now, don't ask me why, because people do. They say, well, why did you become a trader when you were an ex-policeman? Well, it comes down to several things. I mean, as a police officer, your life's in danger as soon as you go to a call. In trading, your life shouldn't be in danger, but your emotions react the same way, as I've seen. So you go into battle as a police officer, and you've got a taser gun, and you've got spray, and there's a guy with a machete. You could be dead. You're a trader, you click that button, you say, I'm in. I'll put 5 grand at risk. I'm in. Your emotions feel the same way. You feel threatened when it goes against you. You feel upset you feel angry. These are natural emotions, which I can, and Tiru and I both have discussed at length, how we can assist you to change your psychology, which is what it is. I don't care. People say to me, oh, trading's not about emotion. It's not about psychology. Of course it is. Because what you're dealing with is your money that you are attached to, whether you like it or not. If you've earned it and it's in your bank, you are attached to that money. If you put it in the market and you don't understand risk, you don't understand trading plans, you don't understand how to manage your emotions, you're going to get very peed off when you start losing, which 90% of traders, they're saying, in England do. So what makes a winner? What makes someone really good? What makes an individual, female or male, very smart? My first book is called Trading in the Shadow of the Smart Money, because that's exactly what we do. We can't compete with the big banks. We're not going to try. Even though I'm running a fund, we're not going to even attempt to. We know when big institutional money moves in, it prints. And so what I want to start with here is, in fact, I'll go back to this. We're going to go straight to a chart, and then I'm going to bring in Tiru. Now, here we've got a chart of the US dollar Swiss franc, okay, which I'm in. Now, I'm going to come back to it here and play this to you, and then I'm going to bring in Tiru, because these indicators, and I just did a demo to a big institutional bank. That's the fourth one I've done in the last 2 months. That means that we're on the radar, which I already knew we were. And I'm using TradingView for this particular demo, but there's 2 rules that I want you to understand, and it's very important. Rule number 1, when weakness happens, it happens as the market's marked up, like an auction house. If you want to sell a car and you paid £1,000 for it, you can't sell it for 500 and make a profit. Markets move exactly like that. You've got to mark it up. You've got to attract buyers at higher prices and then close them. That's logical. That's very straightforward. Now I'm going to show you what's going on here. Now I've got 2 sets of indicators on my charts. I've got the VSA indicators, which I'm going to show you, and I've got SMI. SMI stands for Smart Money Indicator. Funnily enough, when I met Tiru, I said, what's the name of your company? He said, MasterTheMarkets. I said, that's Tom's second book. I don't think he copied it, but it doesn't matter if he did. I wouldn't care because I like him. But ultimately, SMI, Smart Money Indicator. And I said, well, I've written a book called Trading in the Shadow of the Smart Money. And he said, I know. And then we got talking, we got looking at charts together. And, you know, I was with Tiru last week at a big conference in London for the Society of Technical Analysis. They're all over, from all over the world. There's thousands of subscribers. But what Tiru and I were able to show is the complementary methods that come in. Now, let me be very clear before I get into this and then bring in Tiru. Number 1, this is not a buy, sell signal system. And if you're here for that, you can leave now, because you won't make money. We're not promising you that. Number 2, we're here to tell you what we see, and we call it the truth. But is there any truth in the world right now? Look at the media. You don't know what you're being told on social media or on BBC or CNN. So you can't say it's true or not. You can only make your individual judgment and say, that does make sense. As I've done in most of the things that I invest in or I buy, I look at, okay, what's my gut feeling here? Now, that's a wonderful thing for a trader, a gut feeling. Well, I had a gut feeling about this Swissy. Now, that means when I get up at 5 a.m. and start looking at my charts, I'm seeing something. And I want you to see it too before I bring Tiru in. So we're going to start playing this through. So the first thing we see at the right edge of the chart here is massive volume. we've got an SMI indicator right on the top of it with a red VSA indicator called PS, which is telling me that the market's being artificially marked up into an old area to the left, which it's already rejected. Anyone disagrees with that? By all means tell me. But that's, as you can see, it was 2 days ago at 9:45 a.m. my time. So I've been waiting for something to happen. But that is a warning sign. That is the elephant or the gorilla in the room. If an elephant walks across, I'm looking out now at the New Forest National Park. I've got a trading office, which is a giant conservatory building with multiple screens, not too many. And I can see horses, donkeys, and there's a couple of pigs walking around right now, believe it or not, outside the house. We have something here called panage pork, which is quite an interesting thing. But the point is, I've got a lovely environment. Now let's get to the chart. Watch what happens here. If that's all buying and the SMI indicator is saying it's going to go lower, the VSA indicator is saying that's PB, potential professional selling, sorry, PS, I beg your pardon, PS. That's telling me if all that volume and activity is buyers, how could we close lower? You can't. But most traders that are out there listening to stuff on the internet are hearing that when the market shoots up over an hour period to an old top and it breaks the old top, it's a breakout trade. Rubbish. Okay? You're getting conned. It's not a breakout trade, as we'll see. This is a gotcha bar. It's in my book. It's in the second book, which you can all get. Just email me at tradeguider@outlook.com. It's what I teach. It's the clearest indication of professional selling. It's locked in all the moron longs, which I'll call them that, who don't understand that ultra high volume on these up bars is sellers taking control. It has to be. Because if that was all buying in that volume, the next bar wouldn't close lower. Couldn't happen. That's a great question, by the way. And I got your email, John. Why is it no one teaches this apart from yourself and Tiru and a few others like Gary Dayton now? Because it's contrarian. Because it's against the herd, against the group. It's much easier to go on YouTube, put the video up and say, hey, buy my product, you'll be a millionaire in 6 weeks. But people do that. And they make a lot of money, millions, some of them. But could I and Tiru wake up in the morning knowing that we're lying to you and, yeah, we're making money? No. I believe in something much bigger, and so does Tiru. That we're here to tell you what the truth is. And watch. This is the truth. It has to be. And I'll show you why the markets do what they do, like now, where they're moving lower and lower and lower because of the selling in the background. Has to be. And we can keep going. We can make lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower low, lower low. It rallies, then it comes back down. This is volume spread analysis and the SMI together. And once you understand it, which you will do after today's session, you'll see what we see. Okay, there it is. There's the weakness. Okay, that's where the stop is. No demand, which means no interest in the upside. It's trying to push up a little bit now, but overall, the weakness appeared up at the top. This is selling from professional money. And you can keep going. And when we go forward, you'll see the SMN, all of them are saying to me, yeah, it picks up a bit of buying. Of course it does. So why is price action so important? And why is price action and volume spread analysis complementary? Look at where we're at, right? We're making a lower low. This works. Now, the strategy I'm using to trade this is called sharpshooter. and I'm combining it with SMI. This is a system that I use for swing trading, meaning I can be in and out, like I've made £200 or £300 this morning, or I can put a bigger size on with the fund and make £10,000, £20,000. It depends on what I choose to do. But this is a strategy. It's a written strategy. It's not a guess. It's built on years of experience. It's built on actual trading strategies that Tiru and I have tried, and I'm pretty certain we're onto a winner. And so today I'm very pleased to announce that we've launched a new company, part of Trade Guider, which is called Wyckoff Williams VSA Training, and it involves Tiru and the team. And what we do is we're aiming this at banks, institutional traders, professional traders, people that really want to make a full-time living at trading. And we'll give you a consultation for half an hour, find out what you want, not what we want. It's not about us. Every single person that I've taught, 864, they're all different. They don't fall into the same category. And that's something why I said to my business partner, Richard, I said, look, if we're going to do this and help people, and some of the individuals that we've taught are part of our company now, what do we want to teach you? Well, in order to teach you anything, we have to know about you, not us. We can't just send you an email and say, buy that and you'll just make millions, because it doesn't work that way. Do people buy products off our page? Absolutely, and they do well. But if you are serious about trading and investing in the markets, then deal with people who are experienced. So Wyckoff Williams VSA Training is geared as part of the Trade Guider company to help you understand what you need. Not Gavin, not Richard, not Grigory, not Tiru. We are putting together, Tiru and I, a mentorship program, which I'm sure you've already heard of. Some of you have already said you're going to come. We look forward to it. But ultimately, what I've learned from my time in this business is understanding an individual, understanding their issues, because many of them do have issues, and then understanding their goals enables me as an individual, and Tiru is the same, to assist you. And we can see here right now that we've got trades on, but the question is, how can you consistently be profitable? And with that, Tiru, welcome to the webinar. Great to see you here. We got a lot of interest in all of this stuff. We've got a lot of people registered for this, and a lot are going to watch it on YouTube. Tiru, welcome. Do you want to do a quick sound check first of all?
Yeah, Gavin, yeah. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you just type into the chat box if you can hear me all right? That's a great trade on dollar Swiss, Gavin. It's very good. I think I will also look at the correlations and show the guys as well what they're really looking at.
Yeah, that came up in Smart Center Pro this morning when I got up at 5 a.m. It alerted me, and then I looked at the SMI over it, and it's all there. I mean, yeah, I've done this event this week with Capital Markets Elite. I've got an event with Ninja Trader next week, then the CME, and then potentially the New York Stock Exchange as well. These things we're going to show this. We're not going to change it, because my business partner Richard was like, well, what are we going to change? What are we going to adapt? I said, absolutely nothing. What VSA and SMI is exactly what it says on the tin. It works. We know it works because our company's been around for 35 years. You've been around for many years, and we do these trades live. We went to the a great event. Okay, so there's the first webinar, or the first live event I ever did with Tom Williams was at the Society of Technical Analysts in London. And then Tiru rang me a few weeks ago. He said, would you like to come up to the Society of Technical Analysis? Where was it, Tiru? Was it it wasn't the banking hall, was it? It was the architectural hall, wasn't it? Something?
What's the Chartered Accountants Hall? One Moorgate Place.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And we both attended live, and Tiru was able to show really good presentations about the SMI VSA and what we're looking for, the statistics, Some people like statistics. I use a trading stop, which I've got running right now. So I'm not trying to project where it's going to go. I'm just going to lock in the profit. But everyone's different, and it was a very successful event. So Tiru, I'm going to hand the screen to you, and perhaps you can show us a little bit about the two things that we use, which of course is price action and VSA. And then I know there's going to be questions. We'll happily answer them. Because we've got a big turnout here, and a lot of people here I notice are from they're all over the world actually. Loads of a lot from the Middle East I see. So Tiru, I'm going to hand over to you.
Can you all see this? It's a nice picture. I guess you all can identify who is here. This was the STA that we all went to. You can see that, right, Gavin?
Yeah, I didn't realise I was taller than you. Oh, I am. Okay.
And that's Jeff over there. That's at the STA, guys. So yeah, do check out for the recordings. I think we are editing it as we speak, and I think we'll be publishing it out. I think you guys are really in with the best, I must say, because it's not, as what Gavin said, there's not many people who really trade in real time and actually can explain to you why to take certain trades. I mean, first of all, let me just go and explain on dollar Swiss as well what Gavin has taken at the moment too. I mean, most of you see, the great thing, I don't know if you guys caught on to what Gavin just did just now. You see, if you take a look on the 15-minute, when I overlay the volume as well for you guys, I mean, the good thing is as I think it's spot on what Gavin mentioned as well, is there's not many people who will teach you contrarian, yeah. And the reason is very simple, because there's not many people who know how to take advantage of it, and especially go against something which is looking like it's going up, right? So how do you do it? And in terms of mathematical stats and numbers, and you know me for some time, some of you have been listening, we always look into the numbers, right? Because eventually, whether you like it or not, numbers follow whether you look into it in detail, because trading is about probabilities and numbers in any case. The good thing is that when something is going against you buying, and you're thinking about, hey, hang on a minute, there's a VSA dot which is telling me to sell, and this is in a downtrend in terms of price action, and it's a phase one, then you're thinking, okay, but how can I short against a rising market, right? So then when you look at it more closely, but if you do get it right with combination of price action and volume, and with good mentors, as what Gavin said, then what happens, traders, in terms of a mathematical perspective, is that when you can short it when it's going up, your stop loss will be a bit more tighter. And if you do get it right in terms of a probability basis and an edge that you have formed, look at basically the reward that you'll be riding on, right? All that move, and towards what objective, yeah. So this is the power when you can start to understand how to trade in terms of a contrarian perspective. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build on this, and I'm going to give you a systematic methodological approach which combines both price and volume to capture these contrarian moves, okay? And then, of course, as you guys are having questions and doubts, please type it into the chat box. Me and Gavin will answer it later. So now, let's do a full analysis of this dollar Swiss at the moment, yeah? So let me go on back to the 1 hour, and then I'll go in a bit deeper into the other time frames. I'll start off with the daily, right? I'll start off the daily. Most of you have come here and understood our kind of methodologies. I will always start off with define trend, define phase, okay? You must always know which part of the cycle are you in every time frame. This is the same thing that we spoke about when we did the talk on the STA, the Society of Technical Analysis, all right? And that's what really impressed them as well, and we combined that with volume 2. So you see, traders, when you know which part of the cycle you are in, and it follows a very simple philosophy that price can never keep moving in a straight line because it moves in cycles. So like this, right? So even this, at the moment, because we quantify, you can see the orange arrow, that's a top over there. Because we quantified it, that is what we call a top to bottom move. But as you and I know, this can never keep moving in a straight line forever. Right? That's a crazy dream to have, right? If you're shorting it and you think, oh yeah, it's going to go down, it's going to, let me hold it, let me hold it. And then at one point, it whiplashes, it goes up, and then all your profits are diminished. So that's, even though it's such a simple, subtle point, you must always remember that, because we're going to build on this. And then I'm going to give you how to put the rule set towards capturing this, and which is what we're going to be discussing more in our mentorship program that we have designed, okay, to help you guys. It's a really great program that Gavin and I have discussed on, which we'll talk about later. But for now, understand that markets move in cycles. Nothing can move in a straight line. So therefore, the first thing we always do is define the trend and the phase in every time frame. So let's take a look on this. And remember, everything that we teach, me and Gavin, is cross-transferable principles. Yeah? That you can apply on any instrument. We can take up, and that's why me and Gavin, we don't care whatever instrument, whether it's futures, whether it's indexes, whether it's commodities, we don't care, ETFs, we can analyze anything. So let's come back to here. Let's define the trend. Let's define the phase. Now, in terms of trading view, what we have programmed here, it doesn't have the trend, but on an empty full, it will tell you the trend straight away. So if I were to, never mind, I'll do it together with you guys. So if you take a look over here, on here, it will tell you the trend straight away because we programmed it already, yeah? But on TradingView, you just need to understand the pattern. In fact, we are putting this on NinjaTrader. The good news is that I'll talk about this later. Also, the stats version of it is already done by the programmer. We just need to protect the code, and then we need to distribute it out just a little bit more for distribution purposes. So that's some good news that's coming in. Right, so in terms of this is an uptrend. But remember, in every cycle, there's two parts, right? One part that is in alignment with the trend, and the second part which is against the trend, or you call it counter trend. Or in other words, we call this phase 2 of the trend, or this is phase 1. So in an uptrend, the bottom to top move, because it's going in same line with the trend direction, so that would be called phase 1. But in a downtrend, your top to bottom move will be phase 1, and then it will keep alternating, right? The market will keep alternating like that, 1, 2, 1, 2. But with this framework, what we have designed with the tops and bottoms, you can derive so much data, which I'm going to explain to you. So let's go through this now. So this is an uptrend phase 2. Okay, uptrend phase 2. So some of you have come and asked me, more detailed questions in a one-to-one. I always say, first of all, on the daily, just remember that this is in a phase 2. If you do want to take shorts on a lower time frame, it's still fine, but just be cautious that at any time on the higher time frame, it can turn into a phase 1, and it can turn quite aggressively. So you just have to be cautious when we take the short trades on the lower time frame if it's giving us a trend signal towards that. Okay, so over here I'll write down daily. It is in an uptrend phase 2. This is where we are at the moment, right? Which is here, which is what I've given in diagrammatic format. Not the proportion, but you can understand what I'm saying. So daily is uptrend phase 2. So now we'll go on to the 4-hour, yeah, and then we'll keep going down like that, and then you'll see which part of the cycle we are on each of the time frames, and whenever you take whichever direction, how long to remain in it for, and even when it goes against you, not why you shouldn't be panicking. Okay, right. So then over here in the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, this is the part what we're talking about. So it's a phase 2 on the daily, but on the 4-hour, as you can appreciate, it will be broken down into smaller and smaller cycles. So to give you a representation, and of course some of you are, maybe it's a bit too fast, really can't get it, you can always watch the recordings which we will be posting out. So you see, traders, just to correlate, so this part here, right, is the highest part on the daily time frame of that phase 2 move. So this is the entire phase 2 move that you are seeing on the daily as this. Okay, that is that one there in correlation. You see, got it? Yeah. But however, of course, on the lower time frame, because of its cycle movement, that won't appear as a straight line, and that straight line that you see on the daily time frame is appearing as cycles, right? You can see over here and see over there. Some of you who are quite sharp will start to realize that, hey, this is quite an interesting point over here that Thiru is actually making, which is that even though it may be a straight line here, but in the 4 hour, if you're riding it, when it goes against you, if you understand the cycle framework, you won't get panicky, would you? Because you know that is part of the nature of how markets move. It moves in cycles. You cannot keep going in a straight line. It's like saying you're just going to take a deep breath in and you're never going to breathe out. How is it possible? You got to breathe in and out. Is it not just like that in the markets? So understanding all these frameworks helps you write the bigger moves. So coming back to here, then understanding all of that. So let's go and take a look over here. So over here, what we have at the moment, it's a phase 2 at the moment. So it's a downtrend, right? So it's a downtrend at the moment, but it's a phase 2 on the 4 hour. So it's a downtrend phase 2. So it's going up at the moment. But remember, because it's in a downtrend, anytime that phase 2 can come back down in its downward momentum. And that is exactly what Gavin was showing you all when he looked at the lower time frame, where he saw that contrarian opportunity and he took it very near to the top there, and then he's riding that downward move. But when it goes down even further and fulfills our formulas, you will then see a orange arrow and a dot coming up, which then says that that has turned into a phase 1. Just that because of Gavin's experience and professionalism in watching that volume, he can capture it even much more earlier and ride a bigger move. But I'm going to show you how we can put it all together. But just stick with me. I'll just finish up with the cycle framework. Then I'll put all the dots and the volumes and everything together and give you all a systematic way of approaching it if you're not able to do it on a discretionary manner. Okay. Right, so we got the 4 hour one. We know where we are in part of the cycle. So at the moment, it's phase 2 is going against us, but it can turn again towards phase 1 downtrend and then align ourselves with the daily phase 2 direction. Okay, so that's what's over there on the 4 hour. Then over here, what we got over here is, let's take a look on this. This is something interesting, which I want you all to be careful of and aware of as well, which is, I think I probably need to reload this again sometimes. It just takes a bit. Let me just reload that. Can I just reload the 1 hour? Or I can do this, right? So let me just put the indicator back on again. Sometimes it takes time to upload the data. I can get rid of the stats chart. Let me see. Okay, we got that now. So if you can see over here on the 1 hour time frame is what I'm looking at. You can see that it's going down here. Now we're on phase 1 over here on the 1 hour time frame. See, phase 1 downtrend, yeah, downtrend, phase 1. Okay, I want you to just observe one important point here, which is this high point over here. Okay, this high point over here, this high point over here, right, which is over here, and we got a signal here. Okay, but on the 4 hour, that is not confirmed yet. So let me just do this and show you all in perspective. So, right, so if you look at the 4 hour, right, so this was a phase 2, but if you're looking to capture the phase 1, to resume if it's downtrend on the 4 hour, you can go on to a lower time frame and look for a smart money indicator dot, which indicates that it's already in phase one, enter earlier in the belief that the price and the volume is correlating to push this price further down and even make an orange arrow pop up on the 4-hour time frame as well. Okay, I'm going to dwell on that a bit deeper later on, but I'm just going to finish off with the trend correlations. So I go back to my 1 hour. So you got that over there. And also very quickly, I can observe that the volume has spiked up into the salmon area over here, and in here, and in here, which is all correlating to this points over here, okay? Which gives me a bit more confidence in taking that dot on the 1 hour. So let me just finish off with the 15-minute finally, and then I'll put everything together and give you a rule set that you can take. And these are the things that we're going to be doing in the live trade mentorship program that Gavin and I are going to be running. Okay, so finally, so we got the downtrend phase one on the 1 hour, and then finally, then we got the 15-minute over here. So what is it on the 15-minute here? What we got is, let me just see. Yeah, so we got a downtrend here and a phase two. Okay, downtrend, phase two here. Okay, that's what we got. It's a downtrend, phase two. Right, so now let's put everything together. Uptrend phase two, that's a downward direction, but just gotta be careful that that doesn't turn back up on the daily. Downtrend phase two, that's an upward direction on the 4 hour. Downtrend phase one is down, and the 15-minute is showing towards an up as of now. Okay, right. So now, how do we put all of this together? Now, how do we put all of this together? You see, some people they might tell you, okay, I'm going long on dollar Swiss, I'm going short. The key point over here is traders on a higher time frame. Some people might be going short. On a lower time frame, some people might be taking it long. When is somebody right or wrong? That is based on their exits. Are they able to get out before it reverses against you? Or are you able to hold on to it more longer to ride a bigger move because you know which part of the cycle you're in? That is why in any strategy construction, you must know your objective. Where is your exits going to be at? It's very, very important. We talk about all of that. Also, if you guys want to go and refer on our Master the Markets 2010 channel, be going on since 2010, you can take a look at the stream section where we've done a lot of videos on that strategy construction. Okay, so coming back to here, right? Coming back to here. So what are we saying over here? So if there's one last thing that I take a look at in terms of intraday time frames as well, which is I take a look at what is called the lower stretch level for the day. And this also signals to me the lower stretch level is around this line over here, which is what we got programmed on the MT4 platform here. Let me show you what we got here. So that is the level that a lower stretch line. Go and check the videos what we've talked about, 8971, which is what I got here. So 8971, let me just put that over there as well. Most of the time whenever we do this, we always correlate on the same points, Gavin and I. 8971, let me just put that properly here, and then you'll see it all come together now. And then after this, then I'll take questions. So 8971, so it's taken out that level as well. That's when I know that my probability is also going towards the downside for today. But in terms of a trend perspective, right, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 15-minute, all is correlating. All is correlating, just that their phases are not correlating. But what does that mean? All that means is, let me put that together for you guys, and you'll start to understand. And then the aha moment will start to click in, which is, if you take a look, right, on the 1 hour, yeah, that was where the confirmation dot happened. Not sure why this is happening. Let me put that, reload that back again. That happens sometimes. And it's not, let me just put that back in again.
Yeah, Terry, just
yeah.
so you know, I've now reversed my position and I'm short again, based on a trigger number, which I'll talk about. But just so you know, I'm still in that same trade. I've made 4 trades on that now, and we're up about £1,200. So I will show that at the end. But yeah, you've got your SMI indicators are confirming everything that's going on. Look at
exactly. I mean,
go to a 5-minute, 3-minute chart. You'll see it. It's so obvious. I don't understand why people don't get it. It's right in front of you. It's moving, and you can
I think
see.
once I summarize this, yeah, then you can you can put all the rest, and then they can really see it. I think crystal clear. I think they'll be able to see it.
Fine.
So I think the final thing what I want to say, guys, now that you know which trend, which part of the cycle you are at, and that's why most of the time me and Gavin will correlate on the same things. Look at where the SMI said that top got confirmed and became a phase 1, right? So that's on the dot there, right? And that the dot and the arrow comes at the same time. We usually enter on the close of the bar of the dot, the close of the confirmation bar. Now, what does that mean? Basically, I'm saying that I'm following a lower time frame signal, and I'm saying that that top, that red line where you can see it, 90, 100, and 1, is going to hold, and it's going to pull the 4-hour down from a phase 2 to resume in its phase 1 trend. So when this keeps going further and further down, at some point our formulas is going to kick in and also going to confirm the 4-hour top. Remember what I just said? Everything moves in cycles. You see, right now, you're not seeing that arrow on the 4-hour, right? It's only a phase 2 at the moment, but you see, but the 1 hour is now leading. The lower time frame is leading today. And if this continues on further down, at some point, the formula is going to kick in and going to get fulfilled, and you'll see an orange arrow and probably this bar confirming that top. That's when you know you have successfully caught an earlier entry on the 1 hour where the blue line is, towards riding it further down on the 4-hour towards the downtrend. So then it will then pull the 4-hour into the phase 1 move. Finally, on the 15-minute, right? And then after that, then I think Gavin can put it all together as well. You will start to see it very clearly. So then when you take a look at the 15-minute, right? When you take a look at the 15-minute, look, this is where we came in on the 1 hour, yeah, the blue line, right? And the 15-minute even came in more earlier. That's where Gavin probably entered in because of he got the volume spike over there. It can enter much earlier on the 15-minute. If you believe that that 15-minute is going to go further down and pull the 1 hour down and then finally pull the 4-hour down, right? Just based on cycles and tops and bottoms. That's all, but it can go a very long way. Now you see, if you understand all of this, right? So on the 1 hour you entered here, 15 minutes is also phase 1 at that time, right? And then it carries on further down. But at this point, right, traders, it goes against you. But remember what I said? When on the 15-minute, when it goes against you like that, yeah, when it goes against you like that, this point here, you won't panic. Why won't you not panic? Because you know that nothing can move in a straight line forever. So it has got to retrace, is it not? But you know, by correlating the different cycles and the phases on different time frames, you know it's a downtrend. And so even if it does retrace a little bit on the very low time frame on 15-minute, but you're riding it on the overall trend on the 1 hour, you will hold on to that trade, and then your patience pays off, and then you get that big seller bar being sold off. Okay, so that's what you will start to see combined with the volume perspectives over here as well. Over here, the volume is just matching up to saying that is going to turn at some point, but then yet again, but the VSA dot is still saying red. That means it can continue on with its buying for just a little bit, but after that, it's going to turn back and resume with its cycle trend. So finally, if I were to put some rule set for you guys, all I would say is in the beginning, define the trend, define the phase across all time frames. That's the first thing you do. Then when 2 to 3 time frames correlate in terms of their trend, take the direction of that trend. So in this case, it will be a downtrend. So take the direction of the downside. Now that's the first thing, direction. Okay. you got your direction for today on dollar Swiss. Or you can apply this on any instrument. So you got your direction. That's the first thing you do after defining trend and phase. Look at all the 3 time frames. If they all correlate, get the direction. That's the first thing. Second thing, then what you then do is that then you correlate where you want to enter. You look up for the setup. The setup would be, if let's say on this 1 hour time frame, you're having a phase 2, right? That's where you start to get ready, okay, on the phase 2. Then finally confirmation to enter, to get ready to enter, you wait for the SMI dot to happen, plus you get the SMI plus the VSA dot as well. Now, if you want to enter even earlier, for the lower time frame to lead all of this 1 hour and 4 hour and turn all these phase 2s into phase 1s, then you combine volume as well, and you go into more further lower time frames like the 5 minute and the 1 minute and all of that. And that's kind of stuff which will be trading live through the mentorship program that Gavin and I will have put together. Okay, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Any questions, you guys can type into the chat box. Gavin, you want to show some of the stuff from your side as well then?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, so let's go to Smart Center Pro. What we'll do is we'll look at the alert that's come in. So I'm back short again. I've made profits 5 times on this. You've now got here a no demand signal, and you can see in the system here everything's red. Now, you talked about multiple time frame analysis, so I think that's very vital in any trader's armory. You don't want to just say, I'm going to do a daily or a 4 hour or a weekly or whatever, unless you're an investor. If you're an investor, you're going to look at weekly, daily charts. You don't care about a 1 minute. You want to make money. Can you make money investing? Sure. Can you make money scalping? Sure. But look at this Smart Center Pro scanner. Now look at what it's monitoring. It's really straightforward. I really struggle with this sometimes when I'm presenting it. I say, well, look, people say to me, what's the best time frame, Gavin? What's the best? And it's like, there is no best. There is simply time frames. The market is fractal. It moves minute by minute, second by second, tick by tick. But our software and your software does the same thing. It's measuring where the big money's going. Now look at every single thing on here. There, 4 minutes ago, no demand. Here, a trap up move on the 15-minute chart. Here, supply coming in. The market's gone down because it's gone down. Now it's having a bit of a bounce. It'll go down again. It doesn't go directionally. And this is what people, traders struggle with. They say, well, if it's going down, I want to just get short. But then it goes up and you get stopped. You have to adapt, which is what we teach. You have to adapt because you're not always, it's going to do this, especially at the London Fix. Now I'm going to go to another screen here and show you what's going on in TradingView, because I think that is a good place. But we can see, and Tura and I have put together a course on this, that what you've got is a set of rules. Now, the set of rules that I've got are based on what I developed. It's called Sharpshooter. It's a scalping, it's a swing trading strategy. Now, I remember years ago when I bought my first Commodore computer, and we're talking 30 years ago now, I got a flight simulator, and it came with a big manual, very detailed manual. What you've got to do, you've got to do this, but I never read the manual. I just loaded it onto the computer and said, well, I'll just take off. Unfortunately, I kept crashing. And it happened, I rang Commodore, I said, look, I can't even take off the carrier. I've spent a lot of money on this program. They said, have you read the manual? I said, well, I haven't got time. They said, well, then you haven't got time to take off. I was like, okay. So that night, I deliberately spent time reading every single thing I could gobble up about this flight simulator. And lo and behold, I literally the next morning, first mission, I was there. I did it. I landed. And I'm like, why didn't I read the manual? Well, when we look at this sharpshooter, this is a VSA manual. It's not SMI, but we've combined. Tira and I decided that we've got so much information, the best place we can provide it is in a live environment, like we're showing you now. It's all well and good sending you a video of PowerPoints in the past. You won't learn from that. You'll look at it and go, well, yeah, you've cherry picked those. Well, we don't do that. There's a few people we work with that trade live. Tiru is one of them. There's a few others, but ultimately we're there to show you the live chart and how you interpret it. It's the only way to learn. You cannot go back in time and go, you see what happened there? It went up, it went there. I know every educator has to do that and say, my system worked there, but they never show you where it doesn't work. So VSA and SMI is very unique. It's at the right edge. It's what it is. Does it work 100% of the time where you always make money? No, no. We teach you risk management techniques to say, that didn't quite trigger, get out. That is the value of what we've got. It's not about making winning trades, and most people want to hear that because it's on YouTube. Buy my product, get this course, you'll be a millionaire. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. That is a lie. What you need to know is I took the trade because of this, and you've ticked the boxes, but then something happened and I got out the trade. I executed my position at a loss sometimes. Doesn't happen to Tira and I very often, but if it does happen, we get out. We are not always right. Let me be clear. Don't pretend that we're gurus. We're not. We are teachers of a strategy that we've both adopted in different arenas, but we're teachers. And all we do is give you the information. What you process from that information is what you processed at school. When a teacher tells you, my son has just been to France and Belgium, going around all the World War I memorial sites, not particularly a great time to do it after what's going on in Israel, but he's done it. And he texted me, he said, Dad, I've learned more about war in the last week than I've ever known. He's 13. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I went to this battlefield, I went to this, I went to Belgium, I went to France. I never did that. But what I learned from his comments was he learned something that he will use in his future life, and then what we're teaching you can use. But it's not just about the chart. It really isn't. Tira and I and my daughter Olivia went to meet, well, you've probably seen it on some of the websites. We went up to the Battersea Power Station, and Tira can tell you all about that. But we met a ranger in Kenya, which I'm supporting, by the way, who's protecting the rhinos. It's called Rhino Man. Now, why would you do that as a trader or an investor? What's the point? Very simple. Every time we see something, whether it's media related, financial related, or anything, we form an opinion in our mind about what we think is happening in the world. Okay, Einstein, I have to say, did say this. He said, you can look at the universe in two ways. It's either very threatening and horrible and will kill you, or it's beautiful and it's, up there. Which one do you want to see? Well, when you're trading, I've got to be honest, I sit there sometimes in the mornings, put my charts up and go, there's nothing here. Now, I don't get depressed. I don't get down about it. I say, there's nothing here. But then suddenly I wait, patience, and you say, it's nothing here now, but if I go and make a cup of coffee and I've got my alerts on, it will happen. And it genuinely, it does. And then suddenly you know that you've triggered a trade like we saw in the Swissy, and you know why. Once you've got that knowledge, you don't worry about spending an hour looking at a screen. Now I'll bring Tiru back in on this. How many times, Tiru, have we looked at charts and there's no trades at all, so we can't take them, and suddenly they appear all at once? I mean, that is amazing, but it does happen.
Absolutely, Gavin. I think that's a very important thing they got to take away, really, which is, best trading sometimes is no trading. You got to wait patiently for the right ones to come. It's the same principle in any investment opportunities as well, isn't it? The really great ones, the really good ones in real estate, property, or even in trading or investments in stocks or commodities, ETFs, mutual bonds. You have to wait for the really good ones to come. You have to wait until you get a good bargain. So patience is always necessary, and sometimes that means you're sitting on your hands for quite some time to wait for the good opportunities to come by according to your strategy rules. And I've read that time and again, Gavin, and traders here, that in all the interviews of the big millionaire traders, some guys that I've read only take about 6 trades in an entire year. The time in between, they are just gearing themselves up and building up their energy to take those big positions on those 6 trades that are coming up, and they make multi-million dollars. Definitely, you're spot on that, Gavin.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I want to end on is I'm trying to play golf. Right? I'm rubbish. I admit. I live next door to the biggest golf course in the New Forest National Park, and so I'm looking at playing golf, and I'm saying, well, I'm pretty certain I can just go out and hit the ball, right? Well, no, you can't. You need a coach or a trainer, someone who can help you to hit the ball correctly, because it's not simple. It's like being a pilot. If I wanted to be a pilot, and I'm looking at the moment at starting to fly at Bournemouth Airport in a Cessna, they say, well, before you do that, you've got 20 hours, maybe more, with a coach, with someone sitting next to you showing you how to do it. Trading is the biggest business in the world. There's not enough teachers. There simply isn't, because some of the teachers that teach rubbish, so you can't make money. Some teachers are good, and there's plenty of them. I know a lot of them, but ultimately, what we want to do, and this is an example. I'm just looking at a comment that's come in about, okay, I've just bought Smart Center Pro or whatever. How do I use it? Well, you've got the strategy document. It's there. It's in your account. Okay, this is it. Okay, and I'll put this up for everyone. This is what I'm using, and I'll put it in the chat room here for every single individual who's saying, well, what are the rules? They're here. That's what I teach, and that's what Tira teaches. That's there. SMI is added on to this. It's very important that you know that this information is there for you, but most people don't. I don't know why, because we make it obvious in emails, but I've really learned the last few weeks as I've been studying our strategies as a company to say a lot of people don't get our emails. You do because you're here. But we've got, thousands and thousands of people in our database that some of them don't see the emails. Email has become, in my opinion, very impersonal. In my opinion, it's that you get so many, you ignore most of them. But what I would say to you is this: Tiru and I put together a mentorship course, and we've also got at Wyckoff Williams, we've got a new service that we're launching on the site. You're the first to see it. And if you want to have a one-to-one with Tiru, myself, or both of us, and say, well, look, how can you help me? That's like going to a doctor. If you've got an illness, we can hopefully cure you. I'm not saying we definitely could, but we can definitely find out. And what we need to know is as much information about you as possible that you're happy with, because we can help. We've proven it for years. This is not a new company. We've not been around for 1 year or 2 years. Trade Guide, 35 years, in fact, 36 years, I beg your pardon. Tiru's been around at least 10, and we both respect each other for what we teach. Now, the reason we've decided to open this particular company is because prop funds and banks want me to go and talk to them, and Tiru as well. So I'm doing events in Chicago, I'm doing events in South Carolina, I'm doing events in New York. The most important part is to individually identify where your problems are and work out a strategy. And it doesn't take long. In fact, within the second part of our, we've got 5 mentorship courses of an hour and a half. I know. And then I'll show you the accounts. I'll say that there it is. That's what we've done. Then you figure it out. But it is about you, not Tiru, not Gavin, not, any of the other people in the business. It's about you. If you want personalized training, which is what I'm doing with golf, you have to accept that you're weak. That's difficult, because you go, well, I'm rubbish at hitting a golf ball. I've accepted it. I can tell you I'm rubbish at hitting a golf ball. So how do I remedy this? Give up? Well, that's not an option. I never give up, ever. So I go, is there someone who can teach me a better way? And I'm already there. Keep your head still. What stupid comment that is. I mean, I could have just gone online and figured that one out, but it's true. Keep your head still. You think it's easy, it's not. Because what you're going to want to do as a golf player, you're going to want to look up and see where the ball's gone before you hit it. Same with trading. You haven't got it right, because what you're doing is you're looking up before you've taken the trade. And we can certainly teach you how to avoid that. Tira, I'm going to hand back to you. So
Yeah, I'm just going to run through. I was just about to say run through the mentorship program, because I know some guys are asking as well.
Yeah, I've got several emails. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I've got to click on, is it show screen, is it? Oh.
Yeah, I'll just give you the presenter. Hold on, there you go. So you are now the presenter, and you can wrap it up.
Yeah, there you go. Let me see, screen of monitor 2. I think that's that one there. And then they can see that. So there you go, guys. I mean, you guys have been asking for quite a bit on what's entailed here. So let me go through it. So it's based on 3 steps, basically, right? So the whole mentorship program with MTM and Trade Guider. So the first part is where you are learning it, right? And then after that, so we give you the knowledge over here. And after the knowledge, then you practice it with me and Gavin's help in live trading sessions. And then after that, we look to scale it up with bigger accounts. Some of you already have bigger accounts. Some of you want to get access to bigger accounts. There's some opportunities and ways to do that too. So through the learning aspect, practicing and scaling, these are the 5 items we've put together. So let me go through it one by one. So first is we'll give you the Master the Markets price action course, which is what we're going to be going through first. And in that, so that you master price action, trade a conviction, and earn consistently. So this is all to do the knowledge. And in terms of Trade Guider, you'll be given the volume spread analysis course as well, so that you master the volume and you trade the conviction so that you can earn consistently. So that is an aspect of the learning aspect. And in terms of the practicing, you'll practice with 2 of us combined, experience of over 50-60 years now that we got me and Gavin together and our whole team. So that's a great amount of experience that's coming through for you guys in these group sessions. What we will do, and we're going to be doing it over 5 sessions. Okay, 5 group sessions. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. Each group session is going to be about 1 to 2 hours. All right. Okay, so that's that one there in the live trading session. That's item 1, and item 2 in the live trading session. So you're getting a good coaching regularly so that you trade a conviction, ongoing support. Item 2, you're going to get all those recordings as well. So we're going to record them so that you can keep revisiting them again and again and again, right? So that the learnings get ingrained onto you to help you trade with conviction as well, and that you can master price and volume to achieve consistent performance. So that's the item 2 in the live trading sessions, where you're practicing along with 2 great mentors over here with over 60 years of experience combined together. And then item 3 is, after those 5 sessions, you got all the recordings and everything. Don't think that we're just going to leave you just like that. You got ongoing email and ticket support. Okay, so you can always still reach out to us, and we'll still respond to you guys and help you, because we really want you guys to succeed. So this is in the live trading sessions over there where you're practicing along with us. Along with that, we'll give you the 3 strategy crib sheets, all the rules, right? Entry, stop loss, target, everything that we will be putting in live real time, which is just what we just did over here with price and volume. Okay, so we'll give you those strategy rule sheets. Not only that, we'll also be touching on a little bit on also how we constructed those strategies, so that you can also modify it to your own personality. So that's that one there on the strategy crib sheets, where you are learning and practicing. And then some of you might be saying, Thiru, this is all good. I really want to learn and everything, but I've got a very limited capital. Not really for all of you. Some of you got limited capital. Then on top of that, we're working with some people on this, so we can expose you to some people, but we just want to check all their credibility first before we really start promoting them and giving you this opportunity where you can get into a funded trader program with our help and monitoring and our strategies, and you can scale your capital up. Okay, so that will override any kind of return kind of objections that you may have, or resistance that you may have, saying that, oh, how am I going to make this learning work, to make up my profits to fund for this entire program. Okay, so don't worry about that. Money is always there in this industry. It's knowledge and practice that is important. And once you got the right risk management and conviction in your strategy, then you are ready to scale, which we are here to help you towards. Right, so as a recap, what do we have here with the whole live trade mentorship? We got the Master the Markets price action course, we got the Trade Guide, the VSA course, that's to do with the learning. Then you practice along with us with over 5 group sessions on the live trading sessions, and then you got the strategy crib sheet ×3, all the rules all spelled out for you that you can take a look, and all this is all recorded that you can revisit. And in terms of scalability, you also got exposure to the funded program as well. Okay, traders, I think that's that one. Then the total value of this, I know some of you are asking already the price of it. The total value, not the price, the total value of this is 8497. Now, for the first 5 people, we would like to talk to you guys before we even take you guys on board, as what Gavin was saying. So book a session. I'll send you all the link to actually book a session on. And then the first group of 5, which is what we want to take first, right? And we want to mentor you, but our whole purpose and aim is that you guys are able to become a testimonial group for us, that's saying, you know what, here's all what we learn, and we are trading at the moment. Here's our track record. This thing works, price and volume, and we want to spread this out more further so that more traders can benefit and achieve and move them towards achieving consistent performance, and really in our mission to spread the truth of trading. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I'll put the link on here, where you guys can take a look at dates and times, and you guys can book a session. Actually, you have a form, isn't it? Is that right? Actually, Gavin?
Yeah, well, there's 2 things. I mean, first of all, if you go to our new website, which is wyckoffwilliamsvsatraining.com, you can fill the form out and then put a message in. If you're using Skype or WhatsApp, put that in the message area. We'll get in touch. The whole purpose of this is actually building what is our fund in Gibraltar to bring traders in. So we want to train you. That's obviously quite important. But I know Thiru has met with a couple of individuals that can fund accounts. What we would want to do, rather than just putting up a price and saying just sign up, is consult with you and find out if you fit with us, because some people don't, and we will say no, and some people do, and that's exactly what we do. And we, we're very upfront. We say, look, it's not right for you, or this is definitely right for you, but we'll We're a business. We have to make money like you do. We do it in the markets. We've got a track record. Tiru's got a track record. We know this is probably what people want based on our surveys. But it's all well and good giving someone a piece of software, but if you can't use it properly, it's like giving them a car and not teaching them to drive. You know, if you go to a driving test and you've never ever driven a car, you're going to fail. So we're giving you the test. Will it be difficult sometimes? Yes. Tiru will challenge you. I will challenge you. But we make no apologies for it at all, because we've done it, we've proven it, we've got businesses that are successful, but I will say it does take a bit of effort. And if you're not prepared to put in the effort, you will not get the reward. And life is like this. It's exactly this. Effort versus result, which is what I talk about in many things in my books. You know, you've got cause and effect and effort versus result. If you get effort versus result right, you'll figure it out and you'll learn. And it won't just help you in trading, because we take a much more holistic approach to trading. Tiru and I had a very deep conversation while we were up in London about experiences we both had from trading, well, obviously trading, but other things. And ultimately, we have experience. Now, some of it is irrelevant to many people, but some of it's very relevant. But one thing we definitely know is we've got something that definitely helps people. We've seen it. But most importantly, and I think this is why Tiru and I work so well together, we come from different backgrounds, but we come to the same conclusion. And that is very true, in that we want to help. Tiru keeps telling me we have to tell the truth. We have to tell the truth. What is the truth? You switch on CNN, BBC, you look at the Israeli conflict. What is the truth? There is no truth. It doesn't exist. It's just what you're hearing. The only truth that really exists for all of us is what we feel. If you want to put it financially, how much is in my bank and how happy we are. Happy, great word. You're happy when you're successful, content, you've got your own place, and you don't worry. There's plenty of songs out there at the moment on the internet about don't worry, be happy, and all of this stuff. The point is, that's easy to listen to, but many people do struggle with their emotions, especially with trading. We can help. We've been through it. I'm an ex-police officer. Tiru, tell them about your background, because you were in like medical profession, right? So
That's right, yeah. So I was in a cardiovascular pharmacology, guys. So I know what, after a turn of events, I left that and I got into finance, because the most important thing what Gavin is also saying, which is it's freedom of time, isn't it? You don't want to be always be sitting under someone and taking the orders from someone else. So you want your own freedom, and that's why I left it quite early. And I went to financial markets and never looked back. And I've also put in the link for you guys to also book a session, either me or Gavin. And you guys can look at the calendar and then just book it in. I think it'd be a really great journey that we'll take together on this. And as what Gavin is saying, everything you can only achieve with effort and time. But the good thing here is that with our combined effort of over 55 years, 60 years of trading experience, you have a higher chance and a higher probability of getting to your trading success. That's what I would say, Gavin.
Yeah, I totally agree. With that said, I think we've run out of time. Thank you, all of you, for listening in today. Obviously, a very big turnout. We are here to help. We're trying to do our best. There is a lot of opportunities right now in the markets, despite all the negative stuff in the world. Do not listen to the news. If you switch it on, you're programmed. You're programmed to see the world as a very nasty place. I can assure you it's not. And I know this. It's a beautiful place that we inhabit and we're here, but we must not listen to all the negativity, because if you do, and that's programmed, you're programming your brain to feel that way. Don't do it. You can get much better attitude to the world by programming the mind, and same with trading, actually, it's the same thing. To look for opportunity, embrace opportunity, make the money. And is money the root of all evil? No, absolute rubbish. I've heard that said the other day in a webinar. Oh, money is this, money. The world is driven by money. Read The Richest Man in Babylon if you haven't read it. I understand it. It's not an evil thing, but you've got to accept it and know that it comes massively when you want it to, or scarcity. It's not there. And that happens to everyone in life. You go from, feast to famine. And I've read books by Richard Branson and some very, very wealthy people who had to go bust several times before they made it. You can make it in the markets, that I can assure you. You can understand the principles. You have the knowledge because we're sharing it. And you have the right path. It's your choice. Take it or leave it. It's your choice. But ultimately, this planet is very much built around teachers and people helping people to go to another level. And that's why I work with Tiru, because he's very good at it. And there's not many people that we work with, but we chose Master the Markets and Tiru Nagapan for that reason. So with that being said, I thank all of you for listening today. I'll put this on YouTube so you can listen. You've got questions, you can, you've got all the details here on the courses that we're doing. We'll send an email out, but I'll just say to you all, namaste. May your God bless you, and thank you very much for your time, and we hope we can help you. Take care. Bye-bye.